Hello, I can already see some questions sa YouTube. Pero we'll give it a few more minutes para lang makasali yung iba. Hello everybody! Happy Sunday! Sarap ngayon, medyo mahangin sa labas. Okay, himala sa Facebook. Wala pa akong nakikitang comments. Usually may comments na yan eh. I don't know if it's lagging or something, but hello! Hello everybody! Okay, so sa mga bagong dating dito, I'm Teacher Kaye. I'm a registered speech-language pathologist and ginagawa ko po itong libreng konsulta. Hindi po ito katumbas. It's not the same as a speech and language assessment or therapy. Sasagutin or tutugunan ko lang yung mga tanong nyo habang hindi pa kayo nakakapagpa-assess or nakakapagpa-therapy. Para malaman nyo nga kung, for example, kailangan yung magpa-therapy. Kung merong speech or language delay yung anak ninyo. Okay, so, hello Annalyn. Hello Ninya. Paano ko matuturuan anak ko gumamit ng ibang inuman o baso? Depende po kung gaano katanda na siya. Usually, kapag marunong na silang mag-solids, pwede nyo na actually silang ipagamit ng open cup. So, we don't encourage the use of sippy cups. Yung sippy cup po na matigas yung spout. Bakit? In-explain ko to in one video kasi actually, yung sippy cup na may matigas na spout, beyond actually never siya recommended. So from breastfeeding or bottle feeding, actually kahit yung bottle feeding, sige, bigyan ko kayo ng konting overview of inuman ng mga bata. So dahil breastfeeding is best for babies, yun muna yung pag-uusapan ko. So kapag nag-breastfeed po tayo, you can breastfeed as long as you want, but ang gusto kong malaman ninyo na once na nakakapag-solids na rin si baby, I'm not telling you to stop your breastfeeding, that's your decision, but I'm just letting you know na yung movement na associated with breastfeeding is called a suckling motion. So, ang ginagawa po ng dila natin ay forward, back, parang ganyan po siya gumagalaw. Kung ito po yung bibig natin at ang ginagaya kong movement with my hand ay yung pang po natin, the suckling motion. So, once nagsosolids na sila, na-i-introduce or, nagsisimula na silang magka-vertical motion ng bibig na dating ang tongue lang ang nagsasuckling motion. Ngayon, meron na tayong movement of the jaw and dahil yung solids ay nababreakdown natin at naghihiwalay-hiwalay sa ating bibig na pipilitan din yung tongue and other articulators natin na, for example, yung cheeks natin, ayaw nating pumunta sa gilid-gilid kasi mahirap yun lunokin. Bago natin lununok, bago tayo lumunok, ang gustong gawin ng bibig mo ay kunin lahat, i-collect lahat ng food at dalhin yung food na yon sa gitna para maswallow natin. So, napipilitan ng tongue natin na magka-lateral motion na rin para makuha lahat ng mga food na napupunta sa gilid. So, if we persist with bottle feeding, this does not apply to breastfeeding because yung nipple po ay napaka-soft and pliable that it does not impede any of the movements of the articulators. Ang articulators po ay yung ginagamit natin para makagawa ng speech sounds. But some bottles are harder, diba? If you notice, bottles and bottle feeding are firmer than a mom's nipple. At dahil doon, if nagpo-persist tayo with bottle feeding ng mahabang panahon, na nagsasuckle pa rin yung bata, di natin na-encourage yung ibang movements that could be good for their speech development. And then mas lalo na yung mga gumagamit ng sippy cup. I know that ginagamit siya ng ibang mga parents for convenience, mas lalo kapag nagbibiyahe. Kasi nga naman, para hindi masyadong matapon-tapon kung nasa biyahe kayo. But there, I want you to know na mas maraming ibang good options than a sippy cup na matigas yung spout. So, yun po yung ayaw natin kasi ang nafo-force doon ay, kunyari, ito yung matigas na spout, tapos iinom siya, laging napipilitan. I can't believe I'm doing this for makikeep to forever. But okay, kung ito yung hard spout ni sippy cup, ito yung magiging position ng bata. Ganyan. Tapos, sometimes if we persist with using that, nafo-force din yung teeth mag-go forward. So, na-affect din po yung yung dental development din. So, marami po, and ano bang implication ng nagfo-forward na teeth? Maaaring kakaiba rin yung, kapag masyadong malayo, minsan hindi naaabot for certain sounds like, kasi kailangan abutin yung teeth. So, kung masyadong lumayo yung ngipin po natin sa tongue natin, mahihirapan ng gumawa ng ibang sounds. Of course, it's case-to-case basis, but yung tanong lang naman ni Ninya ay paano gumamit ng ibang inuman o baso ay unti-untiin nyo po. Laging guided po muna. So, if you're trying to use open cup na, ikaw po muna hahawak. Pero actually, better if, at kung kaya naman nung bata mag-experiment, kahit magkalat muna siya, kailangan niyang maramdaman yung bigat ng isang bagay para unti-unti lang din yung paglagay niya at hindi mabibiglang pag ganon. So, kailangan lang po ng regularity, konting guidance po at every step kung saan mo makitang saan niya kailangan ng tulong. Alam po natin to kapag lagi nating susuruin yung zone of proximal development na makikita natin sa episode ko on scaffolding. Sana nasagot ko yung tanong mo. Medyo humaba yung explanation, pero parang yun naman yung gusto kong maparating. Let's take one from YouTube. Hello, my daughter is turning 5 this December. Nagsasalita siya ng word per word. For her age, hindi pa matatas yung clarity. Hindi pa po ganun ko okay. Most na nasasabi niya is 3 words. Ask ko kung may chance ba ang daughter ko na makahabol, na makapag-sentence. And if you do face-to-face assessment para ma-meet nyo ang daughter ko, thank you. Okay, so hi Kim. First of all, good afternoon. If she is 5 years old, and 'di ba favorite tong tanungin, tsaka favorite ko rin sagutin kapag tinatanong niya ako, guys, na may chance pa bang makapagsalita, may chance pa bang humabol, may pag-asa pa bang such and such. Laging may pag-asa, laging may chance. Kaya nga natin sila tinuturuan kaya nga may therapy. Kung hindi ako naniniwalang may chance pang umayos completely yung pananalita, bakit pa nga magte-therapy? So, yes, merong chance talaga. It might take longer for your daughter kasi napapansin nga natin na merong nakakapag-cause ng kanyang delay sa clarity ng pagbigkas niya. Pero sa totoo lang, 4 years old pa lang naman talaga, sobrang klaro ng mga nasasabi ng bata. Up to 3 years old, meron tayong mga 25% of the time na, anong sinasabi nito? Pero by 4 years old, usually lahat nabibigkas na, maliban na lang kung may bago silang natutunang word, hindi pa sila masyadong familiar with a certain sound or a position or a certain combination of those positions in longer, more complex words. Yeah, but definitely may chance pa siyang makapagsalita in fuller sentences. Ang i-recommend ko po sa inyo for anyone working on fewer words or single words to sentences or phrases, ang technique po na i-encourage ko sa inyo ay extension or expansion technique na nasa episode 30. Episode 30 ko po, dinedescribe po niya na kapag may sabihin sa inyo yung anak nyo ng 1 or 2 words, kunyari sanay na sila na mama kain. Pero, hindi naman grammatical, hindi naman tama yung mama kain sa grown up, 'di ba, communication. So gusto nating ituro yung tamang ways, mama, gusto ko nang kumain, or mama, kain na ako ng cookie. So kung ano man yung sinabi nila, dudugtungan natin yon, which is what we call the extension, or we expand it nga para pahaba na ng pahaba yung mga nasasabi nila. But what's important here is you have to take something na kaya na nilang sabihin. Para bang padagdag lang ng padagdag. Para meron silang starting point, tapos doon natin dudugtungan ng dudugtungan. Pero yes, if you're very concerned, syempre, because yun, 5 years old na nga siya, I still, of course, recommend na kung meron kayong access, ang access po ay meron bang speech pathologist na malapit sa inyo? Or meron kayong resources, as in, afford nyo naman na magpatingin sa mga professionals, ay gawin nyo po. At yung mga hindi pa po nakaka-afford, alam ko po na iba po talaga yung mga, syempre priority nyo ay yung pagkain ninyo at yung ibang mga babayaran. Pero kung kaya pong paunti-unting pinag-iipunan po natin yon, at habang nag-iipon po tayo, ay gawa niyo po yung mga techniques na tinuturo ko dito sa YouTube. Yun, eventually makakapagpatingin kayo para alam natin kung ano yung sanhi ng delay or kung disorder nga ng bata. Bakit importanteng malaman kung ano yung cause? Kasi iba-iba yung way na pagtulong natin sa kanila. Depende sa kung ano yung cause. Hindi siya format. Hindi tipong, lahat ng ginagawa sa speech delay, pare-pareho lang. Hindi. So, for example, ang maging diagnosis ay, for example, autism. Or maging diagnosis pala ay, kaya pala hindi siya makapag-klaro ng sinasabi niya, ay lahat ng mga sounds na ginagawa na kailangan gumalaw yung tongue, dun siya nahihirapan. So baka poor muscle tone pala yung tongue niya, nahihirapan siyang i-elevate, iangat yung tongue niya to make certain sounds. So we do different treatments depending on the cause. Kaya importanteng magpatingin tayo sa professionals at magpa-assess or magpa-evaluate. So I hope that answer helps you. Okay, let's get one more here from Facebook. Hello, Annalisa. Ask ko, kapag diagnosed ng GDD yung bata, posible pa ba siyang makahabol sa edad niya if early ang intervention? Yes. So again, anyone here, kung meron kayong tanong about, posible pa ba? May chance pa ba? Pag-asa pa ba? Ang sagot ko lagi, always. I think I explained this in one of my more recent posts again, pero actually paulit-ulit to. So kung matagal na kayo dito, alam nyo na to. Ang parang foundation po natin ng therapy and learning ay neuroplasticity. Ang ibig sabihin nito na ang brain ng tao, 'di ba sinasabi nga nila na your brain is a blank slate in the beginning. Let's pretend, sige, let's agree that it is a blank slate. So zero yung brain natin when it starts. But dahil sa ating mga neural connections or yung mga, o sabihin na natin parang yung brain natin kung nagsimulang isa lang ang daanan, isa lang ang kalye, habang lumalaki tayo, habang dinadaanan natin lahat in life, dumadami yung mga sanga-sanga at kalyeng napupuntahan ng brain natin. All these connections, all these new roads na nagagawa ng brain natin, our neural connections, is the learning. So, what I want you to know is that this neuroplasticity happens throughout the lifetime. It does not stop at 3 years old, even though we keep saying early intervention, especially from 0 to 3 years old, because it is the prime, like the fastest absorption rate ng mga children matuto. But it doesn't mean it stops. Learning happens throughout life, kahit matanda na po. Kaya yung mga nagrarason na matanda na ako, wag nyo na akong baguhin. Or di na ako, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. In fact, you can. With enough support and patience, everyone can learn at any point, anytime in life. So, posible pa bang makahabol sa kaedad niya? So, you're not just asking if magsasalita siya. Gusto mong makahabol siya sa peers niya? And my answer is still yes. Kasi meron na akong mga naging client na nagsimulang, so up to, pumasok sa akin parang 2.5 years old, tas completely hindi siya nagsasalita nung pinasok siya sa akin. Tapos, ang unang diagnosis sa kanya was GDD, suspicions of autism. Pero hindi pa na papako yung autism. Hindi pa na-identify. Um, and then, so, meron siyang OT. Tas ako, yung speech therapist niya. 2 times a week kami nun. Tapos, matagal din, pero by 5 years old, sinubukan siyang ipasok sa, I forget what kinder. Pero kinder, pinasok siya sa kinder. Tapos by then, kahit na delayed pa siya ng konti dun sa classmates niya, kasi 5 years old, full kwento na yan eh. Nakakapagkwento na niya yan lahat. Pero siya nasa phrases pa lang. Tapos, although, nakakapagsalita siya in short sentences, minsan, kailangan pa rin ulitin yung tanong sa kanya para maging mas appropriate yung sagot niya. Pero by the time grade 3 siya, pinasok na siya sa isang mainstream, very popular all-boys school here sa Pilipinas. Tapos, at par na siya dun sa mga kaklase niya. So, sometimes it takes time. But definitely, depending nga rin sa support. That's why it's important to find the people who can help you and your family. Na pwede silang makahabol. I hate using makahabol kasi parang race. Pero I know what you mean. It's like to perform at the same expectations ng mga ka-age nila. So yes. Good afternoon, Jonalyn. And Ethan's autism. Paano magpalista sa clinic nyo? Dun po sa BGC, dun po ako pumapasok. Pero sobrang haba na po ng waitlist ko. So actually, dahil nga naniniwala tayo sa early intervention, is if ma-message niyo po ako kung taga saan kayo, sana ma-recommend ako ma-recommendan ko kayo ng speech therapy centers na malapit sa inyo. Because importante din yung lapit at convenience ng therapy center sa inyo. Kasi kung nahihirapan kayong puntahan, minsan yun yung nagiging reason na hindi nagiging consistent yung attendance, or pagdating, dahil ang haba ng biyahe, pagod na yung bata pagdating ng therapy and does not perform as well. So these are all factors that we all take into consideration. Yeah, but just to make it clear, sobrang haba na po ng waitlist ko, but you can try, and dung center po na tinatrabahuhan ko, ang tawag po sa kanya ay Kids in Motion Therapy Center sa Bonifacio Prime, BGC. Hello, Nileslen. Hello, Ancian and Danessa. And ito si Ancian may tanong, ano po ba ang ADHD? Ano po ba ang ADHD po? Malala po ba 'yon? Okay, ADHD po stands for autism. Hala, naguluhan si teacher. Stands for attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder. So, just like with all conditions, medical conditions, may mga levels kung gaano nila kana-aapektuhan ng buhay ng isang tao. So kasi ang hirap po ng word na malala po ba yun? Meron akong alam na cases na malala yung ADHD to the point na nahihirapan talaga sila matuto. But hindi siya lahat malala. Just because sinabing ADHD does not mean malala siya. So, to help you, to give you a better idea of kung ano po yung ADHD, ay baka pwedeng puntahan nyo na lang po muna yung episodes ko on ADHD, kasi sobrang, I think I have 3 episodes. Yeah. Episodes 63, 64, and 65 are all about ADHD. Sa episode 63 po ay yung definition natin ng kondisyon na to. Yung episode 64 ko po ay ADHD in adults. So yes, one of the lesser known facts about ADHD is hindi lang naman kasi siya na-diagnose sa mga bata, although the biggest percentage is syempre, bata pa lang nakikita na natin yung presentation. Pero marami ding mga parang habang tumanda sila, dun lang nila na-realize na, kaya pala ako hirap na hirap nung bata ako kasi may ADHD pala sila. So that's episode 64. And episode 65 is what are the tips or strategies that we can use for children or adults, grown-ups with ADHD. So, short kwento lang, hindi pa naman siya confirmed ha, kasi hindi pa ako nagpapatingin. Pero the more na, so since naging SLP ako, tapos mas natutunan ko nga about ADHD, parang every time na nakaka-encounter ako ng mga clients na may ADHD or may mabasa akong bagong findings sa mga research about ADHD, napapaisip talaga ako, parang, shucks, parang ito ako, especially nung bata ako. So, ang strong ng feeling ko na I have undiagnosed ADHD, but I'll keep you guys updated kapag finally magpatingin na ako. And so a lot of people ask also, bakit magpapatingin ka pa ng ADHD? Matanda ka na, tapos kahit papano may narating ka naman. And for me, it's not about because I need more help from another person, but more parang kailangan kong i-heal yung past ko to understand myself more also, na yung mga times na sa school nasabihan akong grabe wala siyang focus, or ito kakakwento ko lang sa mga friends ko dahil kinakwento ko nga rin lately na parang magpapatingin na talaga ako, parang gusto ko magpa-diagnose. So, kakaalala ko lang mga a few months ago na nung bata ako, sobrang hindi ako makapag-take down ng notes sa first school ko. As in, kailangan naging compensation namin nung mommy ko. Nakiusap siya dun sa isang parent na, hiramin yung notebook ng kaklase kong maganda mag-take ng notes. So, every day, pagkatapos, lahat ng notebook, or hindi ko alam kung lahat ng notebook, or yung homework notebook lang, hindi ako sure. Basta meron akong notebooks na inuuwi ng kaklase ko, kasi hindi ako makapag-take ng notes. As in, sobrang hindi ako makakinig, ganyan, hirap na hirap ako mag-focus sa school. So, kaka-recall ko lang noon, tapos, madalas naalala ko na in school, ako yung either, nagde-daydream, yung tatawagin na lang ng teacher, tapos parang hindi ko na-realize, ay, hindi pala ako nakikinig, ano yun? Pero tinawag ako ni teacher, so hindi ko alam kung anong tinatanong sa akin. So, a lot of people think that ADHD is just one type, na sobrang kulit, sobrang hyperactive, pero there are actually different presentations of ADHD, and I think yung akin is, yun yung medyo scattered, yung thoughts, medyo, ganun. Tapos, ano pa ba? Stuff about ADHD. Ayun, malikot din ako. So, actually, karamihan ng childhood memories ko outdoors talaga ako nagsistay. Hindi ako mapirmi masyado sa loob. But at the same time, nang nagka-video games na, tapos nagka-video game console na kami, grabe, highly addictive din yung personality ko sa video games, which is also a strong indicator of ADHD. Kasi ang ADHD is not just about scattered, well, because of scattered nga yung attention patterns ng may ADHD, is maaaring mag-hyperfixate din sila sa ibang mga activities. And I experienced this until now, nag-grown up ako. Napapansin ko na sometimes kapag mayroon akong topic na, like, nung nangyari actually dito sa Teacher Kaye Talks, nung ginawa ko to, grabe, I was so excited to make videos for all of you. Grabe yung hyper-focus ko, like, I was writing a new episode, like, every day, or at least I was developing multiple episodes, tapos research ko multiple topics at the same time, dahil sobrang excited nga ako. So, nag-hyper-fixate ako on the project of this channel. Tapos, parang, after nung hyperfixation, tas nawala na yung super hyper-focus ko, sobrang hirap na ako to get back into making my long-form videos, ganyan. So, I'm trying to, and then because aware na ako doon, yun yung importante na for children with ADHD, I think, yung mga strategies talaga is, you find out to how to make them aware of what's happening to them, kailan nawawala ng attention. Pag nawala yung attention, ano yung effective sa kanila na maibalik yung attention. Or, for example, hindi talaga kaya ng tuloy-tuloy na 30 minutes na mag-keep focused. So, you give them the strategies to help themselves na, okay, so hindi kaya ng dire-diretsong 30 minutes, so mga every 10 minutes, I need to take a short break, kahit 1 minute break, and it helps me perform for the rest of the time better again. So, yeah, I hope that that answers your question. Medyo lumayo ako, but I just really wanted to take the opportunity to talk about my personal experience with ADHD to explain more that hindi siya necessarily malala, because as you can see, nag-function pa rin ako. And because of nagawan ko ng compensatory techniques yung sarili kong difficulties, like kapag nalaman ko ng okay, nahihirapan ako mag-focus, gumawa ako ng sarili kong techniques for myself to help me refocus. So, yeah. Hi Celestina and Nikki Sanchez. May chance pong makapagsalita sa ABA therapy. I don't know what you mean. Like, may gusto kang i-share about ABA therapy? Hindi po ako kasi nagpapa-join sa live kasi meron akong trust issues. Kasi baka kung sino yung umakyat dito. But, or do you mean during ABA therapy ay nagsasalita ba sila during the therapy? Yes, because instructions are still given, I think, as a combination of verbal and actions pag tinuturuan yung bata yung ABA. And in case you missed it, Nikki, one of my, I think it was my last live stream where I talked about a recent issue with regard to ABA, but you may want to watch that just para lumawak yung alam natin, yung what's going on in the world of ABA now. But babalikan ko lang na ang punot dulo nun is, if there are less qualified ABA practitioners, doesn't mean that the entirety of ABA is bad. In the same way na I'm sure there are bad occupational therapists or speech therapists, hindi naman lahat pantay-pantay ng capabilities and ng rapport sa bata. Yeah. I don't know why I said that, but just in case you want more perspective on ABA, kasi actually hindi ko masyadong maintindihan yung tanong natin. Okay, hi Masol. Paano mabawasan or matanggal ang echolalia? Echolalia, sa mga hindi nakakaalam, ay ang pag-ulit ng mga salita ng ibang tao, whether video ito, recording, or yung kakasabi lang ng tao. So there are two kinds of echolalia. There's direct echolalia and there's delayed echolalia. So, it also matters, Masol, kung alin yung echolalia na ginagawa ng bata para malaman mo saan ba nanggagaling yung mga echolalia niya, because it also gives us a clue kung ano yung tumatakbo sa utak ng bata. Kasi if we have delayed echolalia, then we know na may internal distractor siya. Something is always running through the mind ng bata kahit hindi na nangyayari ngayon. So, it's a possible cause na something is causing the child to have having overstimulated thoughts. Paano mababawasan? I have an episode on this. It is episode 33 echolalia. Pero para sa mga hindi pa nakakapanood nun, pero sana panoorin niyo po sa YouTube channel ko kasi all my videos, when I make them, they're super comprehensive. Like, I always try to explain ano muna yung definition. Saan siya like, what are the possible causes? And then yung tips na pwedeng gawin for echolalia. So, ang dami na pong nakasulat doon. And so, usually sa live streams ko, I just try to direct you to the video kung meron akong topic about it. Kung napag-usapan ko na naman na siya, I feel like enough na yung nasabi ko about it para lang we can help other people who have other questions here. So, yeah. But a short answer is, usually kailangan alam mo kung saan nanggagaling yung mga ginagaya ng bata para rin malaman mo ano bang ibig sabihin nito. Inuulit ba niya to dahil ginagamit niya yung mga salitang yun to also communicate with you, or talagang nadidistract lang kasi siya, or yun na nga parang paulit-ulit ba? It's also possible na it's a form of verbal stimulation, yung parang gusto niyang inuulit-ulit yung anong yun, yung mga salitang yun. For those who are not aware then of what um, sensory needs are, I talk about it, and self-stimulating behaviors. Isa dyan yung pag-ulit-ulit ng mga nursery rhymes, pagkanta paulit-ulit. This is a form of self-stimulating behavior, and this is what we call stimming. So, kung interested po kayo, kung meron kayong anak na ganyan, nag-echolalia, posibleng stimming siya, and that's episode 59. I hope that that helps you, even if I didn't get to go on in detail here. Hello, Mama Vlogs! Hi, my son is almost 3 years old and pa isa-isang word pa lang nasasabi. Nagka-slot na po kami sa OT, pero sa DepEd wala pa din. Okay lang po ba yun? Nag-ABA kami for months, pero may konting improvement. Okay, so I talked about this in my episode called Kanino Magpapatingin, and that is... Asan yun? Hindi ko mahanap. Hindi ko pa ata nalagay. Okay. Episode 80. Kung kanino magpapatingin muna, pwede bang dumiretso sa DevPed or pwedeng dumiretso sa... kung kailangan ba laging mauna yung DevPed or pwedeng dumiretso sa SLP or OT. Case-to-case basis po siya. Especially na may mga centers na punong-puno na yung mga waitlist nila. So they say, magpa-DevPed assessment muna habang naghihintay. Pero minsan, counterintuitive yun. Kasi, ang haba din ng pila sa DevPed. So, parang hintayan dito, hintayan doon. So, some therapists naman will be able to take you on kapag may available slots naman sila because all of us, speech therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, they will do their own assessments first. Kasi gusto namin makita kung ano yung mga tools that are most relevant to our specialty. So kami, titingnan na, meron kaming sarili naming assessment tools to screen, to really evaluate, really analyze yung mga speech and language skills ng bata para dun namin pagbabasihan yung program na gagawin namin para dun sa bata. So kayo, nakapagkuha na kayo ng OT dahil nag-aantay pa lang kayo sa DevPed, that's okay. Kasi tinanggap na kayo ng OT, so that means that's okay. But kung malibre na yung DevPed natin, importante pa rin po because like I said, it's so important to have the clinical impression of a DevPed para malaman natin kung saan nanggagaling yung difficulties ng bata. And it may help us so much to change the direction of our therapy program. Okay, next one. Alright, here, si Vian Von. Paano po matanggal ang excessive drooling ng saliva? Okay, depende rin kung gaano sila katanda na. Kasi up until like 1.5 years old, may drooling pa naman talaga. But kung like beyond 1.5 years old na, tapos kahit hindi naman kumakain, and at rest, nagdo-drool siya, ibig sabihin nun that maraming iba-ibang factor, but the things that I can think of is, hindi siya masyadong nagsaswallow. As in, there's something wrong with the swallowing mechanism. So, tingnan nyo din kung meron din siyang mga instances na madalas bang mabilaukan yung bata. And kung madalas siyang mabilaukan, paano natin malalaman yung nabilaukan? Yung lagi na lang parang kada subo may konting magki-clear ng throat. So that means that there's something going on with the child's swallowing capability. Another is, baka naman, okay siya mag-swallow, pero hindi lang niya nararamdaman na may pooling na pala ng saliva. So, ang problema naman kapag ganon is awareness of their oral cavity, their articulators. Hindi nila na-realize na andito na, tas basa na yung gilid ng bibig nila. Usually kasi yun yung nagtitrigger sa brain na kapag konting mag-pool na yung laway natin dito, our vagus nerve ata, oh my gosh, kailangan ko mag-review, but I think our vagus nerve is triggered para sabihin niya, ang dami ng laway, swallow na. So kung hindi na-trigger yon, then there's something about the awareness of the child's swallowing patterns. So ang daming pwedeng what do you call this? Ang daming pwedeng reason, and that's why I encourage you na kapag may access or resources ka ay magpatingin po, kasi medyo importante po to, because this affects it's kind of safety issue also first, because if hindi natin alam and it turns out to be a swallowing problem, it could endanger, it's a potential danger to the life of the child. Kung baka posibleng mamaya dyan, mabilaukan na siya talaga ng tuluyan at mag-aspirate. Yung aspirate ay may pumasok na non-food item sa ating esophagus or sa ating windpipe, dahil minsan may ganun may ganung diferensya sa pag-swallow. So I hope that helps you. Yeah, if you can try, if you want, try to see kung nararamdaman ng anak nyo kapag ganyan-ganan nyo yung mukha niya, para makita kung hindi naman numb yung mouth area niya. You can try that. Dito mas lalo kung saan magpupul usually yung laway. You can also try na kung sa tingin mong awareness nga at medyo nakakaintindi na yung bata, you can try na bigyan siya ng verbal reminder or tactile reminder na, oh, swallow na, puno na, swallow na. And eventually, baka maging habit siya na mas dumadalas yung swallowing. So, ang dami, depende nga talaga sa cause niya. But I hope that helps you. Hi Jada, yung baby ko, 3 years old na siya, marami na siyang alam, marunong rin siyang masabi ng gusto niya, kaya lang po hindi pa siya masyadong nakikipag-communicate. Okay, paano niyo po nasabi na marami na siyang alam? Dahil po ba nauutusan? But ang gusto kong tanungin sa inyo next is, ano yung complexity ng pag-uutos niyo sa kanya? Baka kasi, wait, marunong na siyang magsabi ng gusto niya. Okay, so nakakapagsabi na ng want cookie? Or is it just the word for kung anong gusto niya? Bola, cookie, toy, ganyan. So, iba-iba po kasi yung complexity nun. Kung kulang po kasi ng details yung natin, yung kwento natin. And actually, wala ka namang tanong pala. So, ano bang pwede kong ma-advise sa'yo is, okay, number 1, and this goes for everyone. Sa lahat ng nakakapansin ng speech delay, any sort of delay sa anak ninyo, and delays are not only in speech. There can also be socio-emotional delay, as in, hindi man lang ngumingiti kapag tiningnan, di ba usually kapag baby, tas usually ginigigil natin sila. Kasi usually sumusunod na yan sa mukha natin, di ba? With their eyes. So, that is a social skill. And tracking also, motion tracking skill. So, kapag may napansin tayong any sort of delay in the children, ang unang within our control to remove is the factor of screen time. So, kung nanonood yung anak ninyo on any gadget, it can be a cellphone, an iPad, a tablet, a TV, kung may pinapanood siyang videos na animation, na masyadong mabibilis yung mga pag-move, or actually, the first thing is basta kung may napapanood ay tanggalin po muna. And I have so many infographics and episodes on this already, but including episode 21 about ano bang nangyayari sa utak ng baby kasi kapag nanood sila ng mga animated videos. And then, pangalawa, kung na-appreciate na natin kung yun pala yung nangyayari sa mga baby, kaya pag nanonood sila ng mga videos, kaya nag-agree na kayo, okay, subukan kong tanggalin. Paano ba tanggalin? Episode 23 po gives you options, or like, it gives you a perspective na, kasi if you're the type na wala po kasi talagang choice, ang dami kong gawaing bahay, or work from home ako, tapos kailangang iwan, there still is a choice. The choice is iwanan sila with a toy, then iwanan sila with a gadget. There's still a choice. Is it a hard choice? Yes, it is a hard choice. Because hindi mapipirme yung bata because they are so hypnotized by the screen, as opposed to a toy na kailangan nilang mag-isip, ano bang gagawin ko sa bagay na to? Yung screen kasi, ini-impose na, o pwedeng wala ka nang gawin, umupo ka lang dyan, ox ka na. And that's why hindi na sila na-encourage mag-isip, or mag-communicate. So parang, it sends a message na, okay naman pala, I'm very happy watching a video, bakit pa ako makikipag-communicate? So if meron po tayong factor ng screens dito, as I want you, the first thing that you can change is to do a screen rehabilitation, and that means changing your screen time habits. And again, for those families here to think, that's impossible, in this day and age, hindi talaga pwede, screens are everywhere. Sobrang dami na pong families dito. Mag-raise po kayo ng hands kung na-try nyo na at nakita nyo, grabe, as in lahat ng nakakausap ko, clients ko, nasa face-to-face, those who have tried this can attest talaga, oh my gosh, the change is 100% turn around ng mga bata. Nag-i-improve yung sleep nila, hindi na sila bugnutin, hindi sila madalas magdabog, biglang tumitingin na raw sila, interested na ulit sila sa surroundings nila, nakikipag-usap na sila sa mga tao sa bahay. So, for any sort of delayed behavior, yun po muna talaga yung gusto kong i-try ninyo. I hope that this helps you because I actually am not sure kung ano yung tanong mo, pero I think you were just sharing na hindi pa siya nakakapag-communicate masyado. Oh no, I feel attacked, charot. Bakit ang hirap makakuha ng slot sa speech therapy? Kasi up until 2013, ay UP pa lang ang nag-o-offer ng speech therapy sa Pilipinas, UP Manila. So, very recent na nagdagdagan po tayo ng schools natin, UST, Cebu Doctors, and De La Salle Dasmariñas College of Rehabilitation Sciences. Saka pa lang tayo nagkaibang speech therapy programs sa ibang universities. So, kahit pa paano, dumadami na naman na yung SLP, but another reason is, marami kasi, di ba ang mahal na nga, sa paningin natin ay napakamahal na ng speech therapy dito. Sobrang mas mahal pa niya in another country. At kaya, yung ibang graduate natin dito ay naghahanap din ng opportunity sa ibang bansa. So, kahit anong dumadami nga yung nakakreate na natin lately since 2013 na mga speech therapists, nababawasan pa rin ang brain drain. It is still the same problem. So, I think until makahanap tayo ng paraan, a system in the government that allows us to provide the services, the health services na kailangan ng mamamayan na issue-shoulder ng gobyerno natin. Na feeling ko kayang-kaya naman kung hindi lang talaga tayo nagnanakawan eh. Konti talaga yung mga speech therapists natin. But I'm hopeful na dumadami naman na din po talaga. Mas lalo ngayon kung nakapansin kayo na parang biglang nawala pa ulit, kumonti pa talaga ulit yung mga speech therapists, and it's because magpo-first board exams na po yung speech therapist. So for a long time, wala po kaming board exams kasi never maka-reach ng yung law, yung resolution na mapirmahan sa gobyerno. As in years, hindi ko na maalala kung ilang years, pero definitely more than a decade of our veteran speech therapist na ginawan talaga ng paraan. And then this year, nagka-first oath-taking na po. Kasama ako din sa first na nag-oath-taking na SLP. But for the newer graduates, kailangan na nilang mag-board exams. And this November is the first board exams. So, asahan natin na after ng board exams, ay sana dumami na ulit yung mga practicing SLP. Because right now, marami sa kanilang nag-take na rin ng break for their reviews, ganyan. But if you want to hear more about speech therapy and kung bakit nga konti or whatever, just a little overview of speech therapy, meron akong episode called Peking Therapist. Siyempre, it covers another kind of topic, but nasan kaya yun? Hanapin ko. Oops! Ano ba yan? Okay, it's episode 40, Peking Therapist, if you are interested. Okay, let's get one here from Gemma. Hello! Marami na pong words ang alam ng apo ko at nakalabas po siya ng sentence pero di namin siya nakakausap or di pa siya nagkukwento. Bakit po ganon? Ano pong sentences yung sinasabi niya kung hindi po kwento? Is it echolalia? Is it mga scripts or dialogues from mga napapanood niyang videos? So, if tama yung iniisip ko, so again, ulitin natin na try to rehabilitate the screen use. Next po, baka po Gestalt learner siya. I have an episode on Gestalt learning. It is Gestalt. Episode 73. And dito po natin nakikita yung mga batang mas mabilis makagaya ng sentences, whole sentences instead of single words. Kasi 'di ba, ang nakasanayan nating pattern of development, which is called our, oh my gosh, I can't remember the term. NLA. Ano nga yun? O basta, yung parang, yung usual pattern of learning or language acquisition is isa-isang words, tapos eventually, mapagdudugtong mo yung mga isa-isang words na natutunan mo. There is another way of learning which is called Gestalt, where mas natututunan nilang yung mga whole chunks of messages, tas saka pa lang nila hihimay-himayin na, hindi pala isa ang ibig sabihin nito. Pwede ko palang gamitin yung individual words. So, it's possible that natutunan pa lang niya yung buong sentence, pero mali yung pagkakagamit niya ng sentence. So, again, we see this in a lot of children na nag-e-ecolalia, or yun, yung mga nasusobrahan ng screen time. So, Gemma, I want you to take the first step, which is do screen rehab, and then after, look at my episodes on ecolalia. If yung sinasabi niyang sentences ay ecolalia, because hindi ko maintindihan when you say na hindi siya nakakausap, pero nakakapag-sentences siya. So, I'm assuming nga na parang nag-uulit lang kasi siya ng mga sentences. So, it will be relevant for you na panoorin yung ecolalia and also Gestalt learning. And then, si Mommy ulit, sinabi niya, pwede po ba kayo mag-feature ng mga toys or activities na similar sa speech therapy habang wala pa kaming sked na nakukuha for speech therapy? Does it include massaging of the tongue and gums po? Okay, I'll answer the first question po na, is it okay if I can feature therapy activities? Sure, yun ba yung gusto nyo? Would you like to see content like that where magpapakita ako ng, minsan ito yung ginagawa ko sa try nyong gawin sa bahay with available materials. But actually, meron akong some activities na mga pinost dati. Hindi sila masyadong popular. I think dahil hindi nyo alam na yun yung pwede nyong gawin. But for example, I have here episode 55. And there are activities here where I talk about sorting, matching, etc. Episode 54 where I talk about categories. So baka hindi nyo lang alam because of the title. But these are actually in these, I feature some speech therapy activities that you can try at home, you can do at home. I also have activities na following commands. Asan si following commands? Episode 41. And then I also have a multi-step activity, episode 52. So, if you go to my YouTube channel, hanapin niyo po yung tab kasi meron yan, videos, shorts, live. Merong tab na playlists. And I already made a playlist ng activities. I also talked about toys. Meron dito, play. Yun lang yung title ng play, exclamation point. Where my guest SLPs din ako na pinakita yung ibang therapy activities na pwede nyo gawin with some toys like puppets, mga ganyan. So if you guys want more of that kind of content, i-comment nyo lang para ma-enable ako. Ma-enable. Para alam ko na yun talaga yung gusto nyo. And then answering the next part of your question, do the activities include massaging of the tongue and gums? That's only if the child has any sensory issues or muscle tone issues. Muscle tone ay masyadong malambot yung kaya droopy. So parang kahit pa paano gusto nating i-stimulate yung articulators natin, yung oral musculature natin. Pero hindi lahat. Depende sa needs ng bata. Like for example, sa caseload ko ngayon of 9, 18, 20 kids, isa lang yung kailangan ng massage, ng oral massage. So not everyone needs the massage. So if you're a speech therapist, wala ka pa ngang palang speech therapist. But if anyone here has a speech therapist na minamassage yung oral muscles ng anak ninyo, and then nagtataka kayo bakit, or never pa niya na-explain, tanungin niyo siya. Huwag kayong mahiya. Huwag mahihiyang magtanong. Because therapy is a collaborative effort with the family. It's not just us doing the stuff. In fact, 80% of the child's success will be from your support. Kasi kami, usually once or twice a week lang namin nakikita for like 1 hour at a time. Pero kayo yung lagi nilang kasama. So you need to understand why you are doing certain things. Bakit ito yung recommend ni speech therapist. So huwag mahihiyang magtanong. Alright, next. Celestina says, anong thoughts nyo sa bata na may ASD level 1 na 8 years old na? So for those who are not aware, ASD means Autism Spectrum Disorder. And because it is a spectrum, like minention ko kanina with ADHD, may nagtanong kung malala ba ito. So because it is a spectrum, sometimes they refer to them, they categorize them into levels, meaning how much support do they need. So kapag nakarinig po kayo ng level 1, usually that means the individual, the person can complete tasks with minimal help. For example, nakakalimutan lang nila, for example, in brushing their teeth, na basain yung toothbrush nila bago mag-toothbrush. Or nakakalimutang magmumog for some reason. So they forget some steps in some of the tasks. And then all you have to do is say, oh, hindi pa basa, basain natin. So verbal lang yung hint or clue ko sa kanila, 'di ba? Pre-note ko lang sila, tapos magagawa na nila yung task. So that's very minimal support, right? But the child can do it. So usually ganun po natin ina-identify. But because they are on the spectrum, it means that they will have difficulties talaga. So even if sometimes napansin yung parang hindi na siya nahihirapan, I'm sure nahihirapan sila deep inside, but they are learning to compensate. Yun yung thoughts ko about, I don't know what else to, I don't know if you have any have follow-up questions or something, but so on the flip side, let's say if someone is described as autism level 3, that means they need a lot of support, maximum support to finish tasks. So for example, kahit yung ano bang task? Pag complete ng puzzle, for example. So, yung hindi man lang siya makatingin dun sa puzzle, or titingin siya pero sobrang saglit lang, kaya hindi niya makomplete yung puzzle na ginagawa niya. So this child needs maximum support because una, tutulungan mo siya to, hoy, look here, look at the frog, oh, look at the frog. So diba sobra na yung binibigay mong effort para palang mag-pay attention siya dun sa puzzle. Pangalawa pa dun ay to keep the attention long enough, and then habang tumingin siya ay pwedeng, sometimes it's called hand over hand assistance, where i-guide mo yung hand niya para kunin na niya yung puzzle piece. Tapos nakuha na niya, let's say hawak-hawak na niya, tapos hindi na naman siya tumitingin. So babalik mo na naman yung attention niya enough na ma-match niya. Saan ko ba ilalagay ito? Saan ba yung same shape? Saan ba yung same concept? Tapos paglagay pa niya, 'di ba? Sometimes yung mga, especially yung mga form board na hindi naman pwedeng ipatong mo lang, kailangan hanapin mo yung tamang angle. So ayusin pa niya yung orientation, tutulungan mo pa siyang ayusin 'yon. Maximum support. That is an example of someone that could have level 3 difficulties. Now, what I want you to understand is that just because someone has, let's say, level 3 difficulties now, doesn't mean that they'll be level 3 forever. Once we give them the strategies to help themselves, that's the point of therapy, is that we want them to eventually lead independent, awesome lives with minimal help from someone else. So if someone is if any of you have anyone in your family na nasa level 3 yung needs ngayon, just have hope that level 3 is not forever. I hope that answers your question. Alright, meron ba tayo sa YouTube? Pwede po bang mag-occupational therapy kahit hindi pa napacheck ng neuro-dev-ped? I already answered this, life and living, and the answer is yes. If you want a more detailed explanation, yung episode ko po, episode 80, explains the options and the considerations kung bakit ka didiretso sa SLP or kahit wala pang DevPed, or bakit in certain cases, kailangan talaga DevPed muna, etc. Hi, Chastity! So nice to see your name here. Alam mo, sobrang, dahil 3 years na natin ginagawa to, I feel like I know some of you dahil sobrang familiar na ng names ng iba. And I'm so thankful for you guys who are still here. Marami sa inyo actually, I can name at least 10 people na nakakausap ko na sinabi nila, actually teacher, graduate na yung anak. I mean, hindi na nila kailangan ng speech therapy tips na binibigay ko, but they're just hanging out, keeping in touch with me, and I'm so grateful for you guys. Hi, Liar. Hi, is it Ayon? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that, but hello, Ayon Marie. Hi, Emeline from Danao City, Cebu. Hi, Lani Lay. Okay, Romel says, yung son ko, 3 years old na. Autism, intellectual ang diagnosed sa kanya. Recently ko lang din naintindihan na may echolalia siya kakapanood ko ng videos mo. I'm so happy na nakatulong sa inyo. So, I'm not sure if you mean yung diagnosis niya ay dalawa, autism and intellectual disability, because wala po tayong diagnosis na autism intellectual. So I'm just going to assume. But if anyone here has also heard the term intellectual disability, I have an episode on that already. That's episode 51 if you guys are interested. But I'm so happy na natutunan mo na yung echolalia, and once we know how to do better and help our loved ones better, di ba? And then, hello, QualiServe. Pwede ba magsabay ang OT at speech therapy ng 3 years old with in the spectrum? Yes. In fact, I work so close with occupational therapists because they make our lives so much easier. Sometimes nga kasi kailangan pang mauna ang OT. Because ano ba ang OT? Sa mga hindi nakakalam, ang occupational therapists ay ang mga tumutulong sa pag-improve muna ng work behaviors ng isang tao. Work behaviors means paano sila mag-pay attention, gaano katagal yung joint attention na kaya nila, because attention on something is different from attention with another person, and those are the super important early skills prerequisite to communication. So, yeah, mga executive functions like memory, ganyan. Yan yung wino-work on ng occupational therapist natin. So, kung merong nakarinig sa inyo ng sinabihan kayo ng kailangan po muna niyang mag-OT bago mag-speech therapy, and that might be because hindi pa nasa level yung bata to receive the stimulation of speech therapy kasi hindi pa nga enough yung memory nila or yung attention nila. So, hindi naman sa masasayang yung speech therapy if you do it at the same time, pero hindi lang siguro na nating mama-maximize yung speech therapy. And ngayon na, pagsabay, ang favored schedule ko nga sana is kapag yung hour before is OT ng bata, tapos hour after, ako na, grabe, prepared na prepared sila para mag-therapy. Unless na lang kapag sobrang napagod sila sa OT, which sometimes they have activities na very movement heavy. So pagdating sa akin, pagod na yung bata. Pero sobrang bihira lang naman yun. Usually talaga, the occupational therapist and speech therapist, oh my gosh, perfect combination. Pero wala daw makuha si Rowell ng slot for speech. I'm really sorry guys. I wish I could help everyone in the world. Pero punong-puno na rin po talaga ako. Actually, pinuno ko na nga yung slot ko ngayon na maraming walang SLP dahil nga nagbo-board review sila. Kahit na parang sagad sa pagod na. Ayun, sabi nga ni Rowell, lahat daw nag-e-exam pa, sabi ng center niya, exactly. Okay, sabi ni Laika, "Hi, my son is 3 years old at hindi pa siya nakakapagsalita in sentences. Mama, papa at may echolalia siya. Yung puro numbers sinasabi niya like 1, 2, 3, tumitingin naman po pagkausap." So Laika, if you were here, I think dun sa dinescribe mo is baka nasusobrahan po tayo sa mga animated videos, panonood po. So the first thing that I want you to try is to have a screen rehabilitation, and that means tanggalin po muna natin yung screens at least 2 weeks to see any improvements, but as little as 1 day. Kasi nang dami ko na ring families nagsasabi, o ano daw, basta parang nag-last screen time daw sila ng gabi. Paggising ng umaga, wala nang mahahanap ng batang cellphone, anything, pati yung TV tinago nila. Tapos for like a few hours in the morning, parang hindi daw mapakali yung bata. Siyempre, sanay na sanay na andun agad. May mga bata nga paggising pa lang, cellphone! Yun agad yung hinihingi. So, itong family na to sinabi, paggising, wala. Minodify nila yung environment. If you wanna know about modifying the environment to increase the opportunities and the obstacles for learning language, episodes 8 and 8.1 po yan sa YouTube channel ko. Kasi yun, by hapon, grabe na maglaro ng bata, tapos may nasabi ng word, sabi nila, bakit ang bilis? Bakit ang bilis nakasabi ng word? Tapos ang tagal-tagal na daw nilang hinihintay na mag-first word. And then, tada! Yun. So, I know guys, it's hard. Kahit yung mga best friends ko na mga nanay, kahit yung kapatid ko na nanay, talagang conscious effort talaga yung screen time dahil nga napaka-ubiquitous na, like it's everywhere, it's so easy to access, but tandaan nyo na kayo pa rin yung magulang, kayo pa rin yung magdedesisyon kung nasa kamay nila yon or nasa cabinet na nakatago at hindi nila makikita or makukuha. You have to take the steps, anything to help the child, possibly remove the symptoms na nakikita natin of speech delays, behavior problems, ganyan. You also might want to look at my most recent episode about virtual autism, where sometimes nakakakita na tayo ng signs ng autism, pero sa totoo, hindi naman pala autism. And how do we know? Kasi nung tinanggal natin yung screens, nawala rin lahat ng mga signs ng autism. So, yeah, I want you to, if you guys have time, I would love for you guys to check out that episode. Alright, ito si Baby na diagnosed with communication disorder and a mixed receptive and expressive language delay siya ng 1 year based sa assessment last January lang. Now po, nag-turn 4 years old siya nung May 10. Oh wait, sobrang na-confuse ako. Nung 1 year old. Based sa last January. So, last January, ilang taon siya. Pero 4 years old na siya nung May 10. Okay, but anyway, if guys nakakita kayo ng terms like communication disorder, language disorder, pareho lang po yun. Communication and language in our field refer to the same thing. So when we say language disorder, hindi po ibig sabihin yung pag-learn ng Filipino or English or Bisaya or whatever. Communication din po yun. Kapag sinabi po nating mixed, receptive, and expressive. So sa mga bago dito, ang receptive language ay yung mga naiintindihan ng bata. Paano natin nalalaman kung naiintindihan na nila? So sometimes we can test it by saying, yung ball! Tapos, napatingin yung bata dun sa tama. Nakita mo, yung tinitingnan niya, ball nga. Alam niya yung ibig sabihin ng ball. I have an episode on checking what your child can understand by identifying. Nasaan ba yun? Identify. Hello? Check what your child. Hindi ko alam yung title. Hindi ko mahanap. Ano ba yun? Check what your child understands. What? Ask. Vaccinators, fan mission, schedule broadcast, holiday, managing, screen time, best life visual materials. But another way of checking receptive language is yes or no questions. Hala, sumusuko na yung ring light ko, guys. Kapag sumuko to, babay na tayo. But yeah, please try to... Ayun, object identification. Paltang ko na nga yung title dito at hindi ko ma-search. Object identification is episode 17. So, yan po yung pinag-uusapan natin, yung receptive language. Ang expressive language ay yung paghanap ng tamang salita, pagbigkas ng tamang salita, pag sunod-sunod ng tamang pagkasunod-sunod ng mga salita to make a good phrase or a sentence. Yan po ay lahat under sa expressive communication or expressive language. Nagsisentence siya at magaling na sa sagutan. Oh, magaling sa sagutan. Nakakabuo siya ng sentences ng Taglish madalas. Oh, very good. Very good din po siya sa WH question, pero medyo bulol lang sa ibang words kasi hindi maintindihan. Oh, that's very good. At 4 years old, ang dami na niyang nasasabi. Okay, congratulations. Keep it up, mommy. But dahil nabanggit mo na bulol, meron po akong episode on bulol para mahanap mo kung ano ba yung sounds na nahihirapan yung bata. That's episode 36. Meron po yung step by step na pwede niyong sundin. Kasi usually pag sinabi natin, oh, bulol siya. Pero hindi lang ganun yun. Kailangan mahanap natin na kaya nagtutunog siya bulol is, kunwari, kahit isang sound lang yung hindi niya masabi. Let's say kahit yung letter L lang. Tapos magbabasa ako. Tagaog, voca-het, oh, 'di ba tunog sobrang bulol na siya. Pero actually L lang ang hindi niya nasabi. So we need to find kung ano yung specific sound na nahihirapan siyang sabihin. And you can go to the episode on bulol for that, kung paano mo hahanapin yung mga sounds na naguguluhan siyang sabihin. All right. Next. Hi Hazel, watching from Bicol. Hello, taga Bicol din ang daddy ko. Okay, Lee R. says, Teacher Kaye, yung anak ko po magto 2 years old na, tinuturuan ko magsalita, for example, bola. Pag sinasabi ko na, la na lang masasabi niya, pero nabubuo naman po niya yung mama. Thank you po. Okay, I'm not sure what the question is here, pero it sounds like natututo na siya kung sinasabi mo yung word, tas sasabihin niya. So that's the start. So baka kailangan pa lang niya ng more consistency and practice. And guys, learning is a lot of repetition. So, like, there are studies that say na you need to hear something 200 to 300 times for you to actually learn something new. But there's also a study that says if you learn it through play or something that you enjoy so much, sobrang kumukonti yung need for many repetitions. So, always remember, kailangan nag-e-enjoy yung bata. Hindi lang yung, anak, say ball, ball, ball. Say it again, one more time, ball, ball. Hindi siya fun. Kailangan fun siya. Like, oh, tapon mo nga yung bola. Yay, nakuha mo yung bola. Big ball or yung small ball. Or itong maingay na ball, squeak, squeak. So, ball, ball, ball. Pero, nasa embedded siya in your play. Alright. Let's try this one. Hello, ask ko lang po kung paano ko turuan ang anak ko. Hindi pa po nakakapagsalita, pero marami po siyang sinasabing di maintindihan. Feeling ko itong sinasabi mo ay jargon. Kapag yung parang nagkukwento siya, pero hindi mo maintindihan, parang ganyan. So, I have a few guesses kung ano to. Either meron siyang ekolalia of some script, pero dahil hindi pa nagagawa ng bibig niyang i-imitate accurately, nagtutunog ganito. Or it could be jargon, where actually may gusto na siyang sabihin, pero dahil kulang pa yung words sa vocabulary niya, nag-iimbento muna siya ng parang filler dun sa gusto niyang sabihin. So this is part, like, sometimes this happens like between 18 months to about 2 years old. It's a phase of jargon. Pero kapag nagpa-persist siya, kailangan tingnan na natin, bakit jargon pa rin? Ibig sabihin, kulang yung words na natututunan niyang gamitin. I have a whole episode on this. Episode 34 po. So I hope that you can check that out because feeling ko, guys, talaga bibigay na tong itong ring light ko. So, guys, I'll go ahead today. I'll try to go again next week. Dahil napaikli tayo today. I'll try to just come back next week. Yung mga hindi nasagot yung tanong nyo today, just come back. And yeah guys, have a restful Sunday. Thank you all for lahat ng mga nandito at nakipag-engage at nagtanong. Kung kaya ko pong sagutin yung tanong nyo by reading your comments later, usually po nababalikan ko siya. Kasi usually pagtungtong kasi ng Monday, tas trabaho na naman, yung mga unanswered, hindi ko na sila nababalikan. But yeah, so I'll try to answer as many questions as I can after this live stream ends. Thank you also to everyone who left reactions, except po sa ikaw na nag-leave ng angry emoji. Hindi po happy Sunday sa inyo. Yeah, but hanggang sa muli, happy talking everybody and mabuhay. Bye! Ayaw mag-end. End na. Go na. Go na. Bye!